I would like to speak to my people the way they should accept being spoken to. We all know the headlines that come from the media in Ireland, but what do we think of journalists? For many, the image of Veronica Guerin may come to mind, perhaps her tenacity in seeking the truth, whatever the truth may be of her story. But we have examples in this country of the media being deceptive, being manipulative, and appearing to lean too close to a cluster of ideologies. Rarely are they to be seen to question the morality or investigate the potential criminality of those enacting these ideologies. They also allow for the portrayal of them to be sort of silly, a little rogue, but overall decent people trying to do a job. The reality is that the job they are doing is destroying the Irish way of life for Irish people. These conjurers of ideas into reality have increased the dangers to Irish people in their own country, on their own land. These sorcerers in power, not limited to politicians, but the agents behind the scenes who shake hands and drain the wealth from Ireland and offer nothing in return but plunder. The average man with above average wealth who uses it for further profiting from the forcing of unwelcome change onto Irish people, many times his own countrymen. These monsters who seek only their own benefit and don't even consider or care for the opinion and safety of their own people. These are malevolent creatures. Many are quick to accept a bit of running your finger along the top of the cream cake, but when people's lives are being systematically destroyed, then we simply must know when enough is enough. Failure in understanding this will leave us unable to know or decide when enough is enough, and we will die slowly, marching miserably to our own graves, having suffered greatly in life and never knowing the way out or even looking. That is a lousy fate for any person to endure, and I do not want that for anybody. There should be no place in the parts of life we accept for the needlessly suffering man who whimpers silently out of a near total ignorance and gullibility. Misery born of the height of foolishness, where he came to accept that other people are better suited to making life-changing choices for him. That is what we have been, people of Ireland. We've allowed ourselves to be treated appallingly because we wanted to trust, and so desperately to be trusted, that we have had ourselves taken serious advantage of. There's great shame and pain in that, but shame shields the most profound of personal learnings. And lessons must be learnt, because those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Learning means growth, and so I pose this question to you, Irishman. Tell me one thing that you have learned about your history that has aided in your growth. This is what our trust in those we see as better than ourselves has left us. It has served as nothing but betrayal and capture. The media in this country does not speak to you about these things in any serious way. They distract you and make you feel like it's not that bad. Why do you think our media focuses on foreign wars far more than the chaos that is happening in this country? So they hope you will hear about it, and your desire to escape your reality will allow you to think, sure, I'm not doing so bad, so. These are excuses. How quick we are to turn away from evil and to accept it and zone in on what we do have instead of the lack. And there's a power to that, but not when our standards of what we will accept without standing up for ourselves is so low that it is perpetually hard and cancerous to us. We must raise our standards, but that is not something that is given externally. It is an attitude and action that shows that one is ready to assume a level of responsibility for oneself, and that in itself is the raising of standards. But we will never feel like we will be able for it until we begin to speak seriously about serious things. For we can never take ourselves seriously if we are not capable of being serious. We must become serious. That will give us a greater sense of confidence in our ability to understand, to communicate, and to think. Our self-esteem will grow, perhaps for the first time in a long while. We will begin to feel more adequate, more capable, less afraid and stuffed full of self-loathing. For we are the adults in the room, and all that has sustained those who gave us life is being slowly taken from us as we are distracted by the smiling face that guides the stealing hand. We must want better, we must do better, and we shall demand better from ourselves, from those around us, from life itself. The beacons have been lit, Irishman. The challenge has been set. The choice is yours. But remember that the Irish people always remember.